Hey everyone, for our review of Champion helmets today, we're going to be taking a look at Arai's best helmet, the RX 7V. The Arai RX 7V. This is the full-face race-oriented helmet from the Japanese grandfather of safety, Arai, and it's the same helmet that they give to their riders in the MotoGP, the Superbikes and more. Now remember that this is going to be a more racing track-orientated helmet, so it's going to lack some of the features in terms of comfort and versatility that a more road-orientated or touring-orientated helmet is going to have. Now, Arai is just one of those companies that focuses upon safety, and when they make the helmet designs, they ask themselves, how can we improve upon the safety aspect rather than can we reduce the costs or can we just make it look cool? And that's something that a lot of Arai faithfuls really appreciate from this brand. The RX 7V is no different. So when they went to design the RX 7V, they took pretty much all their inspirations from the RX 7, which was their previous top-of-the-line full-face racing helmet. And this is just going to be a step up, as the name implies, because we go from the RX 7, of course, to the RX 7V. There's going to be some small changes, but nothing overly drastic, which is fine because the RX 7 was a top helmet anyway. Now, there are plenty of riders wearing this helmet, like I mentioned. In the Superbikes, we have Jonathan Rie, who is a very good Superbikes rider, and then we have Danny Pedrosa in the MotoGP, who's getting there. Always second, but one day he'll get first. And so we do have a lot of endorsements for this helmet, really, especially from top-level riders. Now in America, this helmet is called the Corsair X, from Arai, of course. I'm not sure why they changed the names. Shoei did the same thing as well with the X Spirit 3, whereas in America they called it the X14. It's a little bit odd, but it's the same helmet overall, and there's nothing to really concern you there. So there are plenty of things with this helmet that I really want to talk about, so let's just jump into it. Alright, so normally when I go through a helmet, I'm going to first focus upon the shell, and I will of course, but we're also going to speak a little bit more generally about the safety features of the RX 7V, because it's been such a focus from Arai. So the shell. So the shell is made out of Arai's most difficult to pronounce material ever, the PBS-NC2, also known as the peripherally belted structural net composite. I'm not sure where the 2 comes in. So the shell is made out of a fiberglass composite material, and fiberglass is a great material for a helmet shell. And Arai is so confident in it that they perform their own in-house penetration tests. So for further safety, we have here a peripheral belt, and this is going to be a reduced layer of EPS, which doesn't sound safe, but they've thickened the shell in this area. And it also allows for a higher field of view, which increases your safety because you can see things better. Then along the bottom we have a hyper ridge, and this is going to be a flared out piece of shell, and it's going to bring force and impact more towards the shell itself and keep it away from the underside of the helmet and also potentially your neck. So on the inside, the EPS is going to be multi-density. It's between 3 to 5 layers depending on where you look, and that's just going to help you absorb a better range of impacts, which is what you really need from a racing-orientated helmet or any helmet in general. Arai kind of wants to focus upon avoiding that though, so they focus upon glancing off of things rather than simply taking impacts, and that does make sense to me. The idea is that if you just kind of glance off something rather than just take the impact, you're not going to have to absorb all that energy, which can be very painful. And also it's going to avoid your helmet getting caught on things and then also putting more pressure upon your neck. If you just bounce off of things, you can kind of like recover from it perhaps. And for that effect, the entire helmet is almost round. It's almost like a ball. And very little is going to actually stick out from the helmet. You can see the only thing that's really sticking out is the ventilation on top and the wing at the back. And these will actually come free if they're under enough stress. So it's going to prevent your helmet from sticking and getting caught on things, which is a great safety feature. So the visor was also lowered as well. On the original RX 7, it was higher up, and they only got 4-star SNELL safety rating on that RX 7. So with the RX 7V, they've lowered it, and they now have a 5-star rating because this is now going to be stronger, and that's an area that SNELL tests. Officially, they didn't do it because of that, but coincidence, I'll let you decide. But yes, this has a 5-star SNELL safety rating, and it's also ECE approved. And now for the ventilation. And the ventilation is going to be second on a racing helmet behind safety, because ventilation is so important for riders to keep cool when they're out on the track. And it is pretty intense, so you can get pretty hot in your helmet. Now, there is plenty of ventilation on this helmet. It's been improved upon since the RX-7. Arai uses words like, or percentages like 19% and so on. But overall, it's top notch and great quality. We have plenty of ventilation, so let me start here on the chin. Of course, we have this vent openable to one of three positions. It's going to direct air into the helmet. There's a little vent on the inside of the chin, and it's also going to bring air here on the visor, to the visor I should say. Then on the visor itself we have two little vents made in the same style as the chin, adjustable to one of three positions, a little bit stiff, a little bit fiddly, but having them on the visor helps to reduce the amount of holes you have in the EPS and the shell of the helmet itself. So it's pretty good in terms of safety. On top we have three vents, one big chimney here, and then two like scoops, each one controlled individually by a little slider. It's going to bring air to the top of the head, to the back, bring in a lot of air as well. Then on the back for exhaust we have two here, controlled via these little slider, toggle things. Then we have two always open vents on each side, 1 and 2. And what's cool is at the very bottom as well we have a vent in the liner. So there's really no reason that you should have hot air in your helmet when all the vents are opened up. Like I said, ventilation is very good on this helmet. I do have two small problems with this. First, these vents are impossible to use with your gloves on. So yeah, this one's not bad. The rest, you're not going to be able to do with gloves on. It's a racing kind of feature of this helmet, and any racing helmet really, that the ventilation should be set up before you take off. So that's just a minus for road users, but definitely not bad at all when you're on the track, and you have a lot of different customization options too. And yeah, overall, again, I don't like how individual all these different vents are. Typically, on a racing helmet it works, on a road helmet it doesn't. For the rest though, ventilation, top of the line. So now for the visor. The visor has been changed significantly, has some good improvements made to it. It's going to have a higher field of vision, as I mentioned earlier. It's because of that peripheral belt, and it's going to be more useful in a tuck. You'll have a better field of view, and you want to be riding in a tuck when you're on a racing bike with a racing helmet essentially. Big plus there. Now the visor is also mounted lower on the helmet, and it's got the variable access system. So when you open it up, the visor is going to move in different ways, which gives it, first it's going to allow it to open up fully without hitting stuff, and it's also going to pull harder into the shell when it closes, which is good for noise isolation and also for safety. Alright, so now when we want to lift the visor up, we have to first use this little toggle here, and that just pushes the visor up a little bit, and when it's like this, then it's locked in. So that cracks it, you get a bit more airflow, and then you can just lift it up nice and easy. Then I'll show you how to take the side pods off, because that's where the mechanism is for the visor. So you have these little black tabs here, so you just want to push them in, and that pops off the side pods, and they'll hang on because there's a little bit of string there. You do that on both sides, nice and easy, and you'll be able to see the mechanism now. So you'll also see here this little red kind of circle and this pin. So you want to get that pin into the red if you want to take the visor off, and you have to make sure that this is pushed in as far as it'll go. So once it's pushed in as far as it'll go, we're just going to turn the helmet down, and then it's going to come loose. Oops, not pushed in on this side. There we go. And then, yeah, it's just going to lift off. So that's the visor. It's a little bit complex to take off, but once you get used to it, it's not a problem at all. To put it back on, we're going to line up the pin with the red on both sides. So I'll do it like this. That one's on. That one's on. And we're going to kind of get it in position, push it on, and then Yep, twist it up, and now it's in. So I'll do it on one side. I'll show you that whole process. You can see a close-up of the system. Open it, the side pod, push that to unlock it, twist it down, and then it'll come off like that. And then when it's in a similar position, put it on into the red, just like this. Oops. Yep. And then you turn it up, snaps into place, and then it's ready. Now to put the side pods back on, it's only going to work in this upright position. So with the visor that is, so you just want to put them on, kind of like line it up and push. Same on this side. Actually, I'll show you how when it's down, it's not going to line up, it's not going to push on. So open it up, line it up, and then on you go. Takes a little bit of practice, but eventually you get used to it. So the final major improvement really made on the RX-7V is the liner. So we'll take that out. I'll show you how that works. First of all, get my donut, lift her up, and yep. So the liner is this Eco Pure system. I'm just going to pull out the wind guard here. That's your wind guard. Then you're going to have like this neck roll here. So we'll take that off as well, pull those out, little pins, and then just kind of lift it out, pull this through, yep, and that's your neck roll. Nice and easy. I say easy, it's a little bit challenging on this compared to some other helmets, but it's definitely possible. Then on this one, because you have the emergency quick release here, it's just going to like literally lift out. So you want to just give it a bit of a wiggle, a little bit of force, and just pull it out. So there it is, and I'll show you that a little bit more in a second because it's kind of interesting. Same on this side, we're just going to lift it out, pull that through. There we go. So then we have the little headliner, a few snaps, release those there. Then we'll do it as well here up top. You see these, just gonna pull them off. One on this side as well. Pull it off. There's your headliner. And then on the inside, you can see the really like the lack of channeling, but that's also been a feature of theirs with the EPS, and there's plenty of ventilation holes in there as well. You can also fit a comm system in here if you so desire. Now you can see here, the head pad, it's going to be adjustable. You can do different things, add different pressures and so on, which is great. It's what you want to see with a racing helmet. The cheek pads are pretty cool though, because the cheek pads actually have the EPS in them. And you can do things here, you can change the thickness and so on. You can take this cover off and wash it. And yeah, you can see the exposed EPS there. So definitely don't wash the EPS, and the liner is going to be antibacterially treated, moisture wicking, quick drying, and all that kind of. Obviously it's going to be removable, and it's also going to be washable. So yeah, that's the liner, and it's very comfortable on this helmet. Alright, so now for a roundup of extra info. The Arai comes in 3 different shell sizes. It's going to fit a more oval shaped head, and in terms of head sizes, it's going to come in XS all the way up to XXL. So there's plenty of different options there. Moving on from there, it's going to have a double D-ring to keep you in the helmet, which is what most people want with a racing orientated helmet. In terms of noise isolation, it's going to be relatively okay. It's a racing focused helmet, so it's not going to be great. But on the road, if you close up all these vents, it's going to be fine. On the track though, definitely pop in your earplugs before you set off. The helmet also has plenty of cool designs. This one here is from Pedrosa, it's my favorite. It's got like the samurai and big samurai, and I think it's really cool. But yeah, there's plenty of other designs as well, like this one here. Now, they also offer a 5-year warranty at Arai, which is great. It's a good feature of any helmet maker, shows confidence in their product. And then they also surprisingly offer a $3,000 or something like that ridiculous amount version of this helmet. And that one is made out of carbon fiber, and it's going to be the same kind of helmet they use with their Formula 1 races. I'm not sure what the like you and me would need with that helmet, but it's out there if you want to get one. I personally don't expect to be doing a review of that helmet anytime soon though. Lastly, when ordering the Arai RX 7V at Champion Helmets, make sure that you select a product bundle, and that way you can get a free visor or a $75 discount on the Sena 10U communication system. If you scroll down a little as well, you'll be able to find all these well-priced product bundles. So now for pricing, a standard design without graphics or anything like that for the Arai RX 7V is going to cost you $850 US at the recommended retail price. And so that's going to place it pretty firmly in the premium full face helmet category, which does make sense seeing as it's a premium race helmet. The closest competitor for the Arai is going to be the Shoei X-Spirit 3. They're going to be quite similar in terms of quality. The Shoei is going to be $100 US cheaper though, which is a difference. And the main actual difference between them is going to be the fact that the Arai is going to focus upon glancing off of impacts, and that's affected a few things in the design and also in the looks. The AGV Pista GPR is also going to be a close competitor in terms of quality. The Pista GPR is going to focus more upon being much lighter though, and also is going to have a more pronounced design and aerodynamics and so on. It's also going to cost a lot more, so there's a little bit of variance there. In terms of other competitors, we have like the HJC R11, the Shark Race R Pro, and they're going to be a bit lesser in quality, but a bit lesser in price as well, so it's going to kind of balance out there. The RX 7V, the best full face helmet from Arai, and their best helmet full stop. So because of the racing focus of this helmet, it has great safety features, awesome ventilation, and also plenty of personalization and customization options over the entire helmet. So if you found this review helpful, leave us a like, or better yet, you can subscribe to our channel and stay up to date with everything that we're doing. I'm Chris from Champion Helmets. This has been our review of the Arai RX 7V. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you all next time.